All right, so good morning, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing Saturday. As you heard, my name is Charlene. I'm a counseling psychologist with Riverdale Medical Center, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope that this conference is going to be as amazing and as life-changing as it's intended to be. You are enough. That's such an amazing topic. You truly are enough. And thank you so much, Waiting Rooms, for organizing the conference. I don't know if you can get me. All right, so I think we'll start off. My topic today is self-care while we wait. So what is self-care? I'm sure every now and then you've heard someone ask you, are you looking after yourself? Are you okay? How's everything going? Or some version of somebody asking you how you're doing in general. And most of the time, you'll always say, yes, I'm fine, thank you. I'm doing well. I appreciate you checking in or taking the time to ask me how I'm doing. But the truth is, when you say that you're okay, when you say that everything is well, is it truly well? And what exactly is well? And what exactly is well? Are you remembering to eat? Are you taking your showers, for example? Do you take breaks when you're exhausted? Is that what you mean when you say I'm okay? When someone asks you, are you looking after yourself? Are you saying I'm eating right? I'm taking the time that I need to breathe. Is that your answer? And if that's not it, if you're thinking that just by ensuring that your basic needs are met and the needs of your family are met, this is generally you're eating, you're clothed, you're sleeping somewhere, you're able to go to work. If that's what you think well-being for you is, then unfortunately you're selling yourself short. It's true. All these things are necessary. You need your basic needs. You need to genuinely be able to say that I'm okay. And that's where self-care comes in. Because what is self-care? Self-care is an activity that is deliberate or intentional in order to take care of your mental, your emotional, and your physical health. Okay? It's actually when you hear it, it's a very simple concept, a very simple theory. Like, how hard is it to look after yourself? How hard is it to make sure you keep smiling? How hard is it to make sure that you are generally well? See, most of the time we tend to overlook the emotional aspect. We tend to overlook the mental aspect. When you're stressed out, you're just like, I'm stressed out. I'll sleep or I won't sleep, or I'll not even pick that I'm stressed out because so many things are happening in my life at the exact same time. And in the process of trying to solve all my problems, I'm not realizing that I am not okay. But when somebody asks me, are you looking after yourself? How are you? My answer is always going to be, I'm okay. Thank you so much for asking. I'm fine, thank you. Right? But when you sit back and you look at yourself and you ask, when was the last time you truly laughed? When was the last time someone cracked a joke and you laughed until you cried? When was the last time you felt like yourself? When was the last time you actually did something for you? Not because it's a requirement from work, not because it's a household requirement or a chore, not because you have to do it as a daughter, not because you have to do it as a spouse, but because you want to do it for yourself because it makes you feel good. When was the last time you did that for yourself? All right? And self-care, intentional, deliberate act of taking care of your mental, your emotional, and your physical health as well. So why is self-care important? When you do these things, when you look after your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, it usually leads to an improved mood. Let me give an example. For example, let's say you are having a hard morning in the morning. By the time you get to work, you find someone has done something really kind for you. They brought you breakfast, or they brought you a cup of coffee and it just made you smile, and it could be anything. So when they do that one act of kindness, like someone literally just bringing you a cup of coffee or a cup of tea to your desk, it automatically lifts your mood. You feel very appreciative. You feel, you feel nice about it. So imagine what magnitudes or what magnitude you will experience when you're doing these things for yourself without having to rely on someone else doing it for you first. It's always appreciated when somebody else does it for you, but first it has everything. Remember, everything has to start from you. Everything spans from you. So if you feel good about someone showing you one kind act, one kind gesture, it lifts your mood. Can you imagine what your mood is going to be like if you do small things like that for yourself every single day? So self-care improves your mood. It helps reduce anxiety, and it's also it also helps you build a good relationship with yourself and with others. How? If you're aware of your mental state, for example, if you realize that you're in an agitated state, that you're on edge, that anything can trigger an outburst or an angry comment or something, when you realize that you're in that position, then it's easier for you to tell yourself, listen, I recognize I'm not okay. I recognize I'm irritable. So I have to be on my guard today so that I don't end up projecting onto another person and unfortunately or unwantedly going off on another person for something that really has nothing to do with them. And, I just went off on them because I'm the one who's not okay. So when you're looking after yourself, you're able to pick up that you're not okay, and then you're able to govern how you're going to respond to other people without projecting your frustrations onto them. And that's how you build a good relationship with others. Because you can't just go dropping bombs on everyone because you're not in a position to be able to cope with whatever life is throwing at you at that particular point. So why is it important to self-care while we wait? Why bother with self-care when there's so much that needs to be addressed in life? You already have challenges at work, you've got stress from general life, you've got so many things that need your attention. So why bother with self-care while we wait? So remember, stress, anxiety, negative thoughts, feelings of loneliness, most of them are feelings that every single person experiences. We all go through stress. We all at one particular point feel lonely. We all at one particular point feel lost. That's the thing about life. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're going through. You'll usually find that one thing or another about life will stress you out. All right? And it's hard for us to learn how to manage our stress. So now imagine you have something else that is stressing you out. All right, which is not actually an imagination, but a fact, is right now you're waiting. And waiting is another thing about life. And it comes with its own list of challenges. It comes with its own list of stresses. It comes with its own list of thoughts that make you feel a particular type of way, thoughts that could actually even make you feel isolated, make you feel like you're alone. And that's why, waiting wombs trust is there, is because you're not alone. But sometimes, even in the presence of other people, you may feel like you're there alone. Okay? So this overall well-being, when you're looking after yourself mentally, emotionally, and physically, which is what self-care is, it helps improve your mood. It helps put you in a position where no matter what life continues to throw your way, no matter what thoughts you're having, no matter what feelings you're having, you're able to actually feel a bit better about yourself, because life is not only about stress. Life, you have to live your life. And the thing is, all of us live life waiting in one way or another. All of us are trying to achieve a goal. All of us want something. All of us are waking up every single day and thinking, I want this for my day. I want this for my future. When I think about my future, this is where I want it to be. So the truth is, every single human being in one way or another is waiting for something in their lives, and you're no exception. So taking care of yourself or prioritizing yourself and ensuring that you look after yourself, it helps you in the waiting process. It improves your mood. It helps you with the anxiety. It helps you be able to deal with whatever life throws at you. So the question is here, how do you look after yourself? How do you show yourself self-care? The first thing is kindness. You must remember to be kind to yourself. It's very easy to be kind to somebody else. That's the thing. Everybody you interact with at one point or another will say, oh, she has a kindness to her. Or, she's able to relate with people well. Why? Because it's easier to do things for other people than it is to do for yourself. It's easier for you to wake up and say, this morning I have this and this to do, so I'm going to rush and do it because a friend of mine asked me to do it. But when I say I'm going to do this for myself, you'll always find that there's something holding you back. There's always something putting you off, right? So for example, I'm going to go to the gym because I would like to, do something about my overall well-being. I'd like to, work out, lose a few pounds if I can. And every morning you wake up and you say, oh, I'll register tomorrow. Oh, I'll register tomorrow. Oh, I'll register tomorrow. But a friend of yours comes in and says, I'd like you to help me plan a birthday party or a corporate event. Do you have any ideas? Do you think we can walk around? And you'll be able to wake up almost automatically, very fast move, be very willing to give your ideas, give your opinions. If you have to walk around with your friend to find whatever it is they're looking for. So it's easier to be kind to other people than it is to be kind to yourself. And a lot of times, whether people want to show it, whether they say it or not, you'll find that you'll end up feeling very isolated, especially when you're a woman in waiting. You will isolate yourself, you will pull away from people, you're going to feel pressure because you feel like there's something that you really, really want and you haven't gotten it yet, and you have so many questions as to why you've not gotten it yet. So it's important for you to be compassionate, for you to be gentle with yourself. It's important for you to be kind with yourself. Do not use language that is judgmental. Do not compare yourself to others, because as you are unique and you are perfect and you are enough just the way you are. And just because you're waiting for something, just because it hasn't happened, just because your time is not here yet, does not allow you to feel bad about yourself, does not allow you to put yourself down, does not allow you to think that you're not enough, because you are enough. So remember to be kind to yourself. Remember to be compassionate with yourself. Remember to be gentle with yourself, because the same way you would be kind and gentle and accommodative and compassionate with another person, you can do it for yourself as well. And it is important that you do it for you. All right. The other thing is, every single day, you have to do something that makes you happy. The reality of the world today is we live in a very negative world, unfortunately. And every day you walk out of the house, there's a reason, there's something that could probably put you off. There's something that would cause you stress. You could be walking on the road and someone drives over a puddle and they wash you with the muddy water. You could be in a matatu and the tout has disappeared with your change and you have to start looking for him because you're nearing your stop. You could get to work and find that particular files that you've put in a particular place have been moved and now you have to start looking for them. There's always something that can cause you stress, that can cause you anxiety. Every single day, there is a possibility for that to happen. So how do you improve your mood? How do you prepare yourself for the chaos that is the world? How do you prepare yourself for the uncertainty that the day will bring? Do something for yourself every single day that will improve your mood, no matter how big, no matter how small. And you see, most people say, I'm doing something for myself. They think about very big things. I'm going to take myself on a holiday. I need to relax. So I'm probably going to go visit for a week, or I'm going to buy a new dress, or you find something. Self-care is unique to everybody. What you tend to do in order to relax is unique to you. But people forget that doing something for you, you don't have to wait 6 months to be able to do something for yourself. You don't need to wait 6 months to be able to take a break. You can do it every single day. If you're the type of person who likes music, if you're the type of person who likes to dance, a song is literally 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes long, depending. You have 3 to 4 minutes. You can listen to that song, you can dance, you can sing along, and it will automatically lift your mood. You don't have to wait until the end of the day for you to say, I'm probably going to watch a movie in the evening. What can you do in between? When you're feeling tired and when you're feeling stressed out or when you're feeling anxious, what can I do now that allows me to continue with my day, but also allows me to look after myself? Do I need to walk out and stretch? Do I need to go wash my face? Will that make me feel better? And these are things that people usually do on a day-to-day basis, but really don't pay any attention to it. That cup of coffee, the cup of tea that I need, if I drink tea or coffee, walking and getting a bottle of water, if hydration makes me feel good. Why can't I do that for myself? And why can't I realize and take a minute to appreciate how that has made me feel? So you have to do something for yourself every single day. It may take 30 seconds, it may take a minute, it may take an hour. Remember, you are unique, and how you choose to do things for yourself will be unique to you. The third thing is remember to take the breaks that you need. Remember to take the breaks that you need. We all experience or we all go through challenges in one way or another. So if you feel like you need to take a break, if you feel like you need to sleep, if you feel like you need to talk, if you feel like you just need to get yourself out of the situation, get yourself out of that situation. There is no reason to keep on pushing yourself to the breaking point. And all that's doing is adding to your stress levels. It's adding to the pain that you're feeling. It will add to you isolating yourself. It will add to you feeling bad about a particular thing. It will add to you feeling like you just can't keep going on. It will add to you feeling like you're at the end of your rope. Take the break. Whether it is an hour, whether it is 5 minutes, whether it is a month, take the break. You have the time and you can make the time to take the break. So listen to yourself. If you feel exhausted, if these challenges feel like they're overwhelming, take the break. It's okay, and you can always find the time for the break, okay? The next thing is ask for help. You are not alone, so stop living life as a loner. Human beings are social beings. If we were meant to live alone, we'd all be living in some isolated place in the forest, one person with probably 2 or 3 acres between you and the next person. The fact is, whether we acknowledge it or not, human beings are communal beings. We cannot survive alone. We need each other. That's why we live in estates, we live in flats. You will need the local grocery store for all your needs. You will need your neighbor in case you need salt or sugar, depending. That's not what we usually do here, but we argue about parking, for example. When you go to work, we sit as a community. Even when we are working online right now that we're dealing with COVID, a lot of us are actually struggling with the change from not going to the office and having to stay home and working from home. Why? Because we're used to being together as a community. We don't necessarily talk as a community, but we do live and we exist as a community. You don't have to talk to your neighbor, which is what we usually do, but your neighbor is close by. So you're not alone. You're going through this with someone. Talk to that person. Talk about your fears, talk about your anxiety, talk about your frustrations, talk to your doctors, talk to your support network, talk to mental health practitioners if you need to. Do not isolate and do not put yourself in a position where you feel you're alone. Do not put yourself in a position where you have to be alone, because that's what happens as humans. We put ourselves in positions where we actually need to be alone without even knowing it. And then when we are lonely in those positions, we don't recognize that we are the ones who led ourselves there. Why? Because when we were going through something and somebody asks us, are you okay? Are you looking after yourself? We said yes, and we said nothing. And when we said nothing, we were left with our problems, we were left with our anxiety, we were left with our stresses. And as one day moves to the next, we kept on keeping to ourselves and not talking and not including people in our lives. And then one day we woke up and you actually realize that I'm actually alone. you didn't just end up there, is you actually pushed people away. Okay, so stop pushing people away. You're not alone. As human beings, we are here to live as a community. There are people who are close to you. Rely on them, lean on them. All right. So remember, self-care means a lot of different things to people. And a lot of questions that I usually get is someone asking, so how do I look after myself? What can I do for myself? How do I self-care? Here's the thing. Self-care is unique to every individual. The same way you are unique. What you do for yourself is unique to you. So as long as you're not hurting yourself and you're not hurting somebody else in the process and you're not doing something negative, then anything goes. All right. Remember, the criteria here is you're not doing anything to hurt yourself. You're not doing anything to hurt someone else. And you're not doing anything that will have a negative outcome. Then if the thing that you're doing is making you feel good, then continue with it. All right. So because it's a long list of all the possible things you can use for self-care, the better question here is, what do you know you don't want? As you're trying to figure out what you can do for yourself and you're very confused about what you can do for yourself to make yourself feel better, you can create a no list. And the no list can include the things that you know for sure you don't want for yourself. Okay? So on your no list, you can have things like, I will not, for example, allow other people to put me down anymore. So by you not allowing them to do that, then you're actually indirectly taking an action and saying, I'll only interact with the people who lift me up or who make me feel good. I will not entertain people taking me for granted. I will not entertain people telling me that I am not good enough because according to them, there is something that I don't have. So sometimes the no list is easier and it will basically prune out the things that you are not for and allow you to start seeing the things that you are for, all right? Things like getting enough sleep, that's part of self-care. Remember, the brain needs to rest, the mind needs to rest. So you need to rest in order. And if you haven't noticed, people who don't sleep, people who struggle with insomnia, they're usually very irritable. They're usually very short-tempered. Is because the mind needs to rest, okay? Exercise, but of course, before any exercises, talk to your doctor because you need to know what you can and you cannot do, okay? Follow up with your medications, follow up with Medicare, talk to your doctors, find ways to relax, spend enough time with your loved ones. You know, I know some of us have families where your loved ones are actually the causes of your stress, but I'm sure there are people that you love, and loved ones can be family, they can be friends, whoever they are, spend time with your loved ones. For those of you who love animals, you know, play with your pets, find something that makes you feel good, find something that makes you relax, all right? And always look for an opportunity that will make you laugh. Always look for opportunities to laugh. Remember, we live in a very negativity-filled world. Everywhere you turn, something bad is happening. You put on the news, there are accidents all over the place. You go to work, things are not moving the way they need to move. So never miss an opportunity to laugh and create those opportunities for yourself. All right? So remember, self-care is not something that you force yourself to do. It's not something that should feel like a task. It's not something that should make you feel tired. Self-care is doing the things that you enjoy doing because they make you feel good. Self-care is doing something that refuels you rather than takes away from you. It is something that lifts you up, you know, fills you with joy as opposed to making you feel exhausted. And see, most of the time when you're told, think about yourself, do something for you, then the word selfishness starts to appear somewhere. Self-care is not selfish. Taking the time to consider your needs and doing things for yourself so that you can feel better. Doing things for yourself so that you feel like you're able to tackle the world, so that you're in a position that whatever stress or whatever challenge is thrown at you, you're able to handle it. That is not being selfish. Choosing yourself, choosing to look after yourself is not being selfish. Okay, so let me put it like this as a parting shot. Think of yourself as a tank. We've all seen a water tank. And this tank has various taps. All these taps are there to take water from the tank. Now, the taps are like the titles that you hold. You as a professional, you as a partner, you as a daughter, you as a child, okay? You as a friend. Think about a tap that is your life stressors. How am I going to afford for my housing? How am I going to put food on the table? How am I going to put clothes on people's backs or even my back? Okay. Think about your goals. Where do I want to be today, tomorrow? Where do I want to go? All of these are taps that are emptying from the tank. You are the tank. And all of these titles, all of these things that you're going through in life are all pulling water, are all open taps, pulling water from that tank. Self-care is the source that refills the tank. So if you don't look after yourself and all of these titles keep pulling water from that tank, what's going to happen to that tank? It will empty. What happens when the tank empties? You yourself, honestly, if you haven't been in a position where you feel like you have nothing else to give, you have nothing more to give, you've emptied. And that's exactly what happens to your tank. All of these titles have pulled water, you have kept on giving and kept on giving without taking the time to look after yourself. And now the tank is starting to collapse because there's no more water, but the taps are still pulling. The taps are still pulling and there's no more water to give. You've not taken the time to self-care and refill the tank. So you start to collapse, you start to feel depressed, you start to feel anxious, you start to feel like you're not good enough, you start to feel so many different types of emotions. And unfortunately, those emotions are usually negative. Because when you prioritize yourself, when you do what you need to do, when you look after yourself, when you prioritize self-care, you keep on refilling that tank. And most of the time you find when you're doing self-care, then your thoughts are positive. All right? So think of yourself as that tank and self-care as the source that refills the tank. And everything that life throws to you, every title that you hold, every position that you hold, everything that you need to do, your goals, your ambitions, all of those are taps that need to be fed from you. You are the primary. So if you don't look after you, then how exactly do you plan on making sure that all the other things that you're supposed to do in life, all the other things that you're supposed to go through, all the challenges that you're supposed to conquer, how do you plan on conquering them when you're not giving yourself a fighting chance? And that's why self-care is important. Whatever it is you're going through, you need to look after yourself first to allow you to be in a position where you can actually be in a position to go through all the challenges that life has for you. Right? Right. So I think I'll end there. And I hope you've enjoyed today's self-care as we wait. All the best to today's conference, and I hope it goes exactly how you all want it to go.